Cool. All right. Welcome to the Ace Podcast, where we talk all things art, culture, and entertainment, more specifically pop culture entertainment. I am your regular co-host, Will the Greatest, and with me, I have my regular co-host, the real Aaron Alexander. How are you doing tonight, man?
What's up? I'm doing good. What it is. It's been a minute.
It has.
What it is. What's up?
This has been 2 months. It just entered August. And what an appropriate time. We started at the start, before the summer started, and came out right as the summer's ending.
Yeah. The summer specials.
There you go. Yeah, maybe that'll be the episode title. But yeah, man, how have things been going for you this past summer? There's plenty of stuff that we missed, but yeah, we'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, stuff that I missed, other stuff that I got to do, a lot of fun adventures with friends, going to a lot of mics. Time with the ladies been great. Seen a lot of movies, of course, and yeah, overall, not in adventures as far as like major travels goes, kind of summer, but overall a good one nonetheless. How are you, man? How's your summer been?
Busy as shit, as people have seen on my IG, but overall good busy. There's a couple dips here and there, but everything works out. Everything, it's like there's fun stuff. It's like I went to Disney World with my fiance, and right after that, I went to DreamCon with my cousin, and caught up with a lot of people like Leela and Rap Critic and Anka, and saw like random people at random points. Like Deontay Kyle was in front of me on my flight. Big Jaw was at one of the restaurants we were getting dinner at. What's his name? Tony Stadovchi and Cleo Thomas had a section at a club I went to. So it was just random stuff, but it was overall a really good time. Got to meet people, hang out with people, so that was really fun. Came back from a wedding. I went to a conference in June, so it's been really busy, and it's expensive because it keeps saying I got to travel, and I just need like a weekend to just be normal, and hopefully that will be this weekend of just having normal life, and hopefully my fiance, can have a normal weekend after just 2 months of working hard with rotations and shit like that. But overall, I'm good. I'm just tired. I'm just a little tired.
Man, it's late for you when we're recording. It's like 1 a.m.
It is very much that time, but I gotta get a bit. All right, I'll be all right. I'll get by. And if not, it's going to cost me some money.
Take a lesson from Peter Parker. You got to rest.
We'll get to that. Oh, man. Okay, we got a good bit of stuff to work our way through. So let's get right to it. Let's start with, I guess this is just the Paramount news section. Did you see the trailer for Children of Blood and Bone?
I did.
Would you? I did too. I think it looked. I've been really excited for this movie. I've been following it since the film rights were originally at Lucasfilm. They eventually lapsed. I followed it during the casting process and everything. So I've been, really excited to see it. I'm glad we finally got like our first photos. And now, low key, and I mean this in as positive and a respectful way as possible, the movie does kind of look like everybody who didn't get cast in Black Panther is here.
It really does. It really fucking does.
That is not a judgment. That's not an insult. Like, it's a stacked cast. It's like both Idrises are there. Regina King is there. Viola Davis is there. Who's my girl? Elphaba is there. Amandla Stenberg, for some reason. It's part of the controversy that we'll talk about in a sec. Oh my God. I'm forgetting the name of the lead actress. She was
like a South African actress, right?
Thuso Mbedu. That's who it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the lead. Not because I think the character's name is Zinzi. Not Amandla. Amandla's character is not the lead character. She's a supporting character. But yeah, I mean, it looks good. The visuals look good. They seem to be putting a lot of money into this, which I respect. Surprising coming from Paramount. They have one Terrence Blanchard, one of Spike Lee's frequent collaborators on music. Gina Prince Bythewood has been a reliable director for everything I've seen her in. She also did Woman King and the Old Guard movie.
Basketball.
Yeah, Love and Basketball. Say what you will about the plot. The direction, I think, is overall well executed.
I have still yet to see Love and Basketball. I need to
I haven't
watch
seen it either. I don't care to, because everyone's like, well, it's a horror movie. I'm just like, based off of what I've seen in the description, because it's like, play me for your heart, and then you dunk on me. Fuck you. Like,
right, that's crazy.
But yeah, it's good. It seems talent all the way down, and now we're embroiled in controversy because the author Tomi Adeyemi, I think is her name, has chosen to. She was initially incredibly enthusiastic to sign on and even defending some of the casting decisions. And, you know, she went silent about halfway through the production process. And then a couple weeks ago, like right before the trailer came out, actually, she said she doesn't want anything to do with the movie. She's distancing herself from it, despite being a executive producer and co-screenwriter on it, which this is, I think, the only like movie of this scale that I've seen that not only has a Black woman director, but also Black woman writers, plural, because her and Gina did the script on this. So I'm just like, that's really big. But yeah, she, I guess, had a terrible experience. She kind of vague posted. She posted that like she blocked Amandla. This past week, she put out a 4-minute video talking about carrying trauma from the experience. She had a panic attack.
Traumatic pain. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the video too.
But she did. I mean, it's all compassion and respect to her experiences. So I'm not saying that nothing did happen. It's more so we don't know what happened because she didn't really specify. So it's just been conspiracy theory city all over social media to like
on on the Amandla front. I guess that there was a lot of controversy because she was cast, and I feel like a lot of people wanted a darker skin actress to play that character. When I was watching a video, I guess the character's supposed to be like a black copper tone character.
Yeah, because like browner versus Amandla, Amandla's lighter than us.
Yeah, and I saw something that
she also has biracial heritage. Not saying that she can't.
Is she biracial?
Yeah, she's biracial. She's half black, half white.
I did not know that. Wow.
Not saying you can't play parts like that, but it's just kind of like I remember when the open casting call happened, because she had announced it on TikTok because they were looking for a lot of Nigerian talent, and I'm not sure how far that sort of went, because it seems most of the main cast is like bigger names in the black diaspora. But I remember when I was seeing it, because I'm like, well, can't go out for that one, because I would not make a convincing Nigerian.
Yeah, what I was going to say in that she released a video around the time the controversy was coming out. I guess saying that she wouldn't have picked this role if she didn't feel she was right for it. And in the video that I was watching, I guess that for the royals in that universe, I guess like there's something to the effect of like her skin tone being important, and like her being of a lighter complexion like made sense or something to that effect. But anyway, in the video that she released, she deleted. She said that she had the writer's backing and approval and like support and whatnot. And then when Tomi backed out, she released a thing saying like never say my name again publicly and all this shit. So I'm like, damn, I wonder if it's because of that video, or if it's because of something else, or if the writer then got shit because of Amandla's video. We can only speculate at this point.
Yeah, that's all we can do. I'm of two minds about it, because it's like, far be it from me to ever attempt to invalidate the experience of somebody else on something that I had nothing to do with, that I wasn't involved with. So whatever Tomi says happened, I'm inclined to believe her. She is fully within her right to want to distance herself from a project. Like, unfortunately, a lot of authors get kind of shit ends of the stick when it comes to their adaptations. Like, you ask Rick Riordan about his experience with the Percy Jackson movies versus the show, and it's like night and day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like his experience with the movies, like those movies are bad, and they're bad adaptations. But for the TV show, he has a lot more say, because he's also executive producer, he does the scripts as well and works like very closely with that team. He was part of the casting process too, which I think is similar to what the position Tomi is in. Now people speculate, this is not fact, they speculate that maybe her expectations of control over the project might have been a little bigger than what it was. And when I was like seeing and engaging in some of the discourse about it, I'm like, yeah, if that speculation has any merit, it's kind of like, you know, even if you're an executive producer, even if you're a writer, you're not a director and you're not the editor, so you don't get like final cut. So it's like, it's not like Ryan Coogler with Sinners. Yeah, so it's like Ryan Coogler had to have like a back catalog of 10 years and make like $1 billion movie to be able to get the deal that he was able to get with like Warner Brothers, of basically having his whole team exactly how he wanted it, with all, you know, basically a blank check to do what he wanted and getting like final cut. So it's like, when you move mediums from something like a book, which is very much like, this is hers, this is her baby, and I respect that, to a adaptation, it gets way bigger than you. It just explodes, because now you got other people's money, other people's time, other people's talents that are all contributing into this pot, versus it being just, now it started as yours. Like, you're the originator of the idea, but how it gets brought to life in a different medium, now it's like everybody else is involved. So it puts it in a bit of a precarious position, because you know, she also has another book. She has a new book coming out called Sirens.
Yeah,
I believe that I'm definitely curious about, you know, and I'm definitely going to try to read Children of Blood and Bone before. I have it on hardcover and audiobook, so I don't have an excuse to not go through it. But I don't know. It's like, I still want to see it, because I want to support more stories like this. So it's like, it's not to say that she is required to be a part of it, but I also don't have enough information. Like, if somebody tells me that their experience was bad, I am inclined to like trust them. At the same token, I don't know what those bad experiences were, either because of NDA or something. You know, it's like, I wish she would have maybe specified if it is because of NDA that she was being so, you know, closed off, versus like, again, a lot of it is just like inference and attempting to read nonverbal cues and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's a tougher thing to try to navigate and like kind of select, because on one hand I'm like, oh, like the author doesn't really support this thing, but on the other hand, there's like so many Black people were involved in the making this process. You're like, it's not quite the Black Panther situation, but you know, that level of Black representation is there, and we just don't get that many opportunities to see ourselves like that, especially within the fantasy space. And it's also tough, because on one hand, we live in a world where there's a number of adaptations of works from authors that they don't fuck with the adaptations. Like, famously, there's The Shining. Stephen King hated that movie when that came out.
Shining.
And Alan Moore didn't want anything to do with like the Watchmen adaptations. You know, so like, this is just another author in the long line of them not supporting the adaptation of their work. But then there's also the added element of her being a Black woman, and Black women not being listened to. So it's like, it adds a layer of like complication to that. So I think, like yourself, I'm still going to see the movie, see how it turns out. You know, I love all the actors, and I'm very curious to see how the fantasy plays out. I will probably wait to read it after I see the movie. Okay. So it's not so it's more of an additive experience than something that I feel like is missing. I feel like I learned my lesson with that on Supergirl, because I made the mistake of reading the comic first, which I was trying not to have it affect my experience, but it definitely did affect my experience.
No, I was halfway through the book before I saw it, and it affected my experience.
So we will we'll get into that when the time is right. But
we'll get into that soon.
But yeah, ultimately, I think at the end of the day, I think it comes out, what, in January?
January, yeah. So which is like a bright period to do so. It's a good period, but yeah, Yeah, like you said, especially for something like this is probably one of the bigger projects that highlights particularly like Niger and Yoruba culture by incorporating things of the Orishas
Mm-hmm.
and sort of that the mysticism and faith as like a big inspiration. I'm not gonna say it's an accurate depiction of different gods like Ogun, Oshun, Yemewa, and stuff like that. But like to have that inspiration at least be there, similar to how like Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe pulls a lot from like Christian mythology and stuff like that. So it's I'd say uncommon. It could expose a lot of people to a beautiful aspect of particularly Nigerian culture, where a lot of the inspiration pulls from, which I personally have found very, very interesting. Even my personal divings into it here and there, and especially I've heard the narrative does have themes of colorism, so I'd be curious to see if and how that gets adapted. But I don't know. It looks good. The team behind it seems exceptionally strong. I'm fingers crossed it's a good movie and we can get a good, cool, Afro-futuristic. Well, it's not futuristic, but it's like a Afro fantasy trilogy out of it. There's 3 books. Hopefully this isn't just like a very expensive one and done. Hopefully it's quality shines through. I'm inclined to trust the team behind it because it's a strong team.
Yeah, I feel like the way that this all came together seems a little unprecedented, and you can fact check me on this because I feel like Tomi, right? Am I saying her name right?
I think you're saying it right. I've been saying Tomi.
She got the 7-figure deal to have her books adapted. I think in like 2017.
Yeah,
books
she was,
came out in 2018, and when it happened, she's only 23, 24. Because now the first book is made into a movie, and she's like 32, which is like wild. I'm like, first off, excellent on being a young author securing that kind of deal. Being a young Black author securing that kind of deal, like that's amazing. Like I'm very curious to know the behind the scenes of that. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to have something of the Nigerian culture be then presented to the world in a mainstream way that we haven't seen before.
We'll see, but fingers crossed that it's good. I think the only real critique I was seeing from people in reactions was they didn't really like the pick of Beyonce music. It didn't bother me.
I saw that.
I could tell. I'm like, they're going for a kind of Black Panther-y vibe here. I guess people were just like, again, fair. Not all, Black people in Black music are particularly Black American. Like I do think, and hopefully the score and potential soundtrack do pull more from proper, like, African, but specifically Nigerian, because it's based off of Nigerian culture. It's based off of Yoruba culture and stuff like that. So hopefully they pull a little bit more from that and less from the mainstream. I think Black Panther gets a little bit more leeway because it's fictional. So it's like a hodgepodge of different things of like, African culture and Black American culture in particular. But this is directly inspired by a real people that do exist, and aspects of like their beliefs and their history and lineage and stuff like that. I'm saying a real people like they're not my fucking ancestors.
Right.
They are, but why wouldn't you? But yeah, you want to move over to Marvel stuff?
Let's do it.
Okay. Where do we want to start? Do we want to start with the news, the good news, or the bad news?
Let's start with the bad news so we can transition to good news.
Okay, bad news. Blade got canceled. Wonder Man Season 2 got canceled.
Boo!
It has been a rough week for Black Hollywood. Just a lot of shit. Well, yeah, like Kevin Feige blamed himself for and felt like, his words, he said he felt like a failure for not being able to get Blade off the ground. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I could give you like 3 Blade pitches out my ass right now. If you lock me in a room with somebody with a pizza for 3 days for like a weekend, I'll give you a Blade script.
A single pizza? Damn, y'all gonna be hungry as fuck.
I know, that's where the ambition comes out, to get out sooner. But like, I could give you I could easily give you a Blade. There's more details coming out. Like Mahershala clearly and rightfully so sounds pissed about it. He did 1 year's worth of sword training for that.
Crazy.
I don't know
but
what.
Apparently, you're gonna use it in Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother. I still haven't seen the trailer for that yet.
I saw the trailer. It looks good. I think it's one of the directors that was supposed to be on Blade, which I'm glad that they kind of found a way to put that to use. But it looks interesting. It's an interesting looking movie, so I'm very much excited to see that. I think that's September, but I don't know how they didn't get Blade together. I'm very confused by that. It's like it's a black guy that fights vampires. And one of the rumors I was hearing is that like there was clashing over tone. It's like, did they want to be more action or did it want to be a little bit more elevated? I'm like, you can do both. Just do a Kurosawa film.
Mm.
You can do that. You know, you can like look at Castlevania. Those niggas hunt and kill demons and vampires now granted it's animated, but it's like, you know, they're going after Dracula, they're hunting and killing vampires, going town to town, and it's also beautiful and it's also character driven. You know, to this day, I still think that version of Dracula is one of the most compelling versions. He said, I gave you niggas a year and you burnt my wife at a stake. I am tearing all this shit up. I'm like, bitch, you better than me. You gave him a year. I would have given them an hour.
I think it's both sad and hilarious that. Well, first off, sad because we don't get Mahershala Ali as Blade anymore. But right. The fact that they couldn't get together the Black Vampire movie, and the nigga who's doing Black Panther made one of the best Black Vampire movies of all time for a different series.
That is crazy. That is actually nuts. Yeah, for the competition at that. Damn.
I'm like, y'all couldn't act this nigga for notes? Like, you have him consult in some capacity?
I know Mahershala was mad as shit seeing Sinners. He's like...
Right. Like, they did it. They did it. What do you mean?
These niggas did it in a barn.
Right.
Like my pitch for Blade was Carmilla, the first vampire novel and one of the original kind of vampires. She's kidnapping young women to kind of maintain like her youth. And so one of the women ends up unknowingly being Blade's daughter, and it happens to be wrong person, right time. And so he has to go through Carmilla's castle to kill her and save his kid. But he doesn't learn is his kid until like after the fact. Or he's hiding the fact that you know, that's his kid. That was my pitch. And it was going to start in the early 2000s when I think I had it like, I pitched it as like the first incident opens in like 99 in a club with techno music, you know, and this is where you're introduced to Carmilla and she like seduces this woman and takes her away, but it turns out she's eating her. And then from there it jump cuts to like, you know, this black girl in high school and shit like that. And they're going on a trip to Transylvania, like high school, college, whatever the fuck, going to Transylvania, you know, wherever the fuck, Europe, and everything. It's like, meanwhile, he just happens to intersect. Like he's on a hunt for somebody and it intersects there. So it's like they're passerbys and he winds up going to the castle and everything like that and blah, blah, blah. So that was going to be how it played out. I called it, fuck it, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, it's not hard to do. It's like, yeah, you know, you just do a Kurosawa like escort film. You know, you go in, you save the kid, you fight the big bad guy, you get the kid out.
You have a complete story, a complete film, and then if you want to do some tie-in shit, do this shit at the very end, at the after credits.
It's a samurai movie. You get Antoine Fuqua to direct it. You know, get a couple solid screenwriters. Who did I put on this? I think I had Gina Prince Bythewood as like a writer. Like, get her to write it.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened to that, because they literally had people, not only Blade cast with them, like Mia Goth was attached at one point.
Delroy Lindo was in it, which is very funny that you brought up Sinners.
Yeah, I know he must have been hot, because I'm like, y'all literally got the nigga who made Sinners making Black Panther. You know, couldn't ask him for no advice. Not only did he make Sinners, but he made Sinners wholly original from his, like, not based on anything.
Well, and matter of fact, part of the costume design, if I recall correctly, that was from Sinners, had started because they were doing research for Blade.
Right, I did see that.
Which
Like,
I'm
then
like,
they wanted to do a period piece kind of thing at first.
just
Just sad.
I don't know what happened.
I think I am sad because Blade was one we'd been waiting for
Yes.
so long, and they just announced it at Comic-Con. We were in the room when they
We were
announced
there.
it.
I told my sister that over the weekend. I'm just like, I was there when they announced it. Because it was a picture of Mahershala with his Blade hat, and then Kevin Feige with his Black Widow hat. I'm like, I have that Black Widow hat. We were there when it was announced. It was arguably the thing that people got hyped for the most, and just I can't fathom how you could get like Brave New World in the state that movie was to completion. You could get Ant-Man and the Wasp in the state that movie was to completion. You couldn't get Blade.
And the fact that, and yeah, they just, outside of Black Panther, they just do their black property so dirty. Because, like,
man, talk about it.
Because in Brave New World, they gave Sam Wilson the worst Captain America movie, had a bunch of fucking reshoots, and then we're seeing these other directors. We're seeing Sean Levy for Deadpool and Wolverine. We're seeing Drake Schreier with Thunderbolts, Dustin Daniel Cretton all over the marketing with fucking Spider-Man.
And we'll talk about that in a second too. That's another black thing.
But tell me this. What the fuck was the name of the nigga who directed Captain America 4? And did you see a single interview with him?
I don't remember his name, but I know because he worked on he did Falcon and Winter Soldier. But no, I didn't see any interviews with him.
Well, no, that was the guy who was the writer, because he was initially attached, but then the director was like a young black dude, and then he was. They didn't even bring his ass out for Comic-Con, which I'm like, what the fuck happened to this guy?
Yeah, that's crazy. Actually,
it's just so weird. And then the biggest insults for me.
I'm gonna look this up just to put respect on this man's name, even though he was given.
Was it Julian? Was that his first name?
I want to say
Julius, something to that effect. The guy who directed Captain America 4.
It was Julius Ona. You're correct. God damn, this movie had 5 writers. Jesus,
crazy. Yeah, I think Cap 4 was disappointing. It was a big nothing burger, and it was such a spineless movie because it could have said something but chose to say nothing.
And it sucks because I do like Anthony Mackie as Captain America. I do like Dan. Like I like the majority of the cast except for the waste of time that Israeli character had no reason to be there, and just wasted time and resources by forcing her in there.
I still feel like Aldous Hodge would have been a better Falcon, but that's just me. Anthony Mackie's he's fine, but
I like him. Well, I think part of the issue is they don't give him enough to do.
I just think Anthony Mackie's an asshole in general. So
really,
yeah, man. Just some of his interviews and just like,
I thought he just
not humble in the slightest.
Huh? No. I thought he'd just be fucking with people. I thought that was like a joke.
No. I'll send you a clip afterwards. He was just like,
okay.
He was shitting on this one interviewer for liking Man of Steel and saying she had bad taste and all this shit. I'm like, why? Why do you?
I mean, I wouldn't say that to somebody's face.
Right. I'm like, I don't like Man of Steel, but you don't get a dude to do like that. This man's just doing his job.
I say that in private. I ain't gonna say that in mixed company. What the fuck? What the fuck do you mean Bo DeMeo was partially worked on one of the scripts for Blade?
Oh, shit.
Everybody in this shit had at least 7 writers that had worked on a version of the script. Good God. It has its own Wikipedia page. Development of Blade.
That's crazy.
They
need to make a BTS of just the development of Blade.
Man, I need a documentary about this. I can't wait till they do the reissue of that behind the MCU book.
Mm-hmm. The sequel to the next phases.
Yeah, they're going to have to put something out for Multiverse because god damn. But, that's what
I think. And I don't know if we want to include this in like this topic or if we're doing this as like an umbrella topic of just like how black people have been done dirty in the MCU.
We'll do it as an umbrella because I was about to bring up the Wonder Man Part 2.
Well, I think the biggest one that hurts the most is the fact that crazy how Wonder Man as a black lead, not only a black lead, but one that's nominated for an Emmy as
Emmy nominated black lead. Hopefully,
Emmy nominated black
lead. He did fantastic.
One of the very few actors who was a lead of an MCU thing to be nominated for an award. I think outside of Chadwick Boseman, right, for the first Black Panther,
so. Possibly.
Not only that, they barely promoted it when the first season came out. It was incredible. And then, in spite of the fact, with all that word of mouth, it got a second season. They released a picture saying that we're getting a season 2. Everyone was great. Everyone was happy. They're about to go in the writer's room. And then something between Disney and Marvel, they just canceled it. They're like, no, we're not going to do this. And it's looking real suspicious. It's looking real suspicious because they did fucking Ironheart dirty. They did Blade dirty. They did Cap dirty. They did Wonder Man dirty.
Don't get me started on Ironheart because I was there. That's why I got that poster.
So I'm like, there seems to be a trend here. There seems to be, because one time, okay, maybe something happened. 4 times, all black leads. That's not a coincidence. That can't be a coincidence. Also, fucking Armor Wars.
Oh yeah, Armor Wars got thrown to the dirt. And I think if we really want to go there, because it's like, yes, it's all black leads, but also no Miss Marvel season 2, no Moon Knight season 2.
I think that Marvel, with the exception of Daredevil, is going to be steering away from TV in general.
Mm-hmm. After Vision Quest, which will probably wrap up the Wanda spinoff stories, we gonna get Daredevil and maybe New Defenders, and then after that I think we'll get a show. We're gonna get animated shows, so we'll get X-Men 97, we'll get Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man for however long that those run. We might get something new, but when we get to the Mutation Saga, because I've been calling it that for this long, I know it's probably be like, the Mutation Saga, because shit's finna change.
Mm-hmm.
You will get 2 movies and 1 show a year, maybe 2 if you're lucky. If you're really good, you might get 2 shows. But it's gonna be the mutant show. Is gonna be weird shit. We'll get Fantastic Four 2. We'll talk about Black Panther 3 in a moment, but it's just gonna be maybe we'll get Midnight Suns if you're a good boy, but
if you're a good little fan.
Yeah, if you're a good fan and you're patient, but yeah, man, it's like it's been like rocky seeing the conversation about like stuff that's making it, because it's like, and I had even posted this on Threads. I'm like, it's bizarre to me that they killed Wonder Man season 2, not only because apparently they were getting together like writers and everything like that. They were getting teams. They were preparing to start scripts.
Schedules were cleared already.
Schedule was already cleared. But it's weird because Cretton's already doing gangbusters with Brand New Day. He's 3 for 3. He's having a great run, which love that for him. I want him to have all the opportunities. He's doing incredible work. So congratulations to that man. Now, granted, some people are also thinking like, well, maybe they killed it so that they could have Wonder Man set up for something else. And it's like, that is very possible. That's the optimistic approach. It's just the timing of it isn't great. It's like we're already getting all this other news, and it's like, oh, by the way, before the Emmys come out, season 2's canceled. Which is like, again, they could revive it. I mean, Yahya's exceptionally talented. I hope he gets his Emmy. He's a crazy talented actor. They might be moving him over to another bigger project. Maybe they will. But as of right now, it is still disappointing to hear. Like, I'm okay with Wonder Man being a limited series. I was okay with it being one and how it ended being how it ended. I was cool with that. But then you put out season 2. But this was also under a different administration too, because Iger was president when that was announced, if I recall. And now they have the new guy. Maybe I'm misremembering because I don't remember when the new guy came in. but I think they've switched, CEOs even between announcements. So,
well, I think so. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, and I'm actually trying to look into the Emmys, see how many Emmys they've got. Chadwick got an Emmy, yeah, posthumous Emmy. This is a
Chief
random
Officer Josh Mario took office on March 18th, 2026.
And when did Wonder Man come out? It was January?
When did...
I think it was January, wasn't it? It was early in the year.
January, yeah.
Yep, yeah, so it was probably an administrative change. Or he's probably balancing some books. He's like, they'll figure out something else for him. Yeah, Marvel they got a handful of Emmys, but they're all over the place. Chadwick has one for voice performance. Luke Cage actually has one for stunt coordination. There's costume for WandaVision, music for Jessica Jones, music for WandaVision, production design for WandaVision, and sound editing for Moon Knight. So yeah, and then primetime, they don't have any primetime Emmys. So Yahya's nominated for primetime Emmy.
Yeah, speaking of Yahya, his Man on Fire show went like a fart in the wind.
I didn't get a chance to catch it. I remember hearing about it.
I remember it coming out, but I didn't hear anybody talk about it.
I didn't hear anybody talk about it either. I need to watch it at some point. I mean, part of the issue is that I can't access my Netflix from where I live because of that bullshit thing that they and Disney Plus do, where it's like you can't share accounts if you're in different locations. Hey, man, why? I'm not going to make a new account. I'm just going to find another way to watch it, and I'm not going to tell you how. If you know, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, it has been a bit of a umbrella tepid week as far as just being a fan of Black Hollywood. It's frustrating and annoying, but hey, this is what happens when you love the arts and you want to participate in the arts, and I hope we see more opportunities kind of blow up in the future. I hope as we move out of the multiverse phase and into the mutation saga and everything like that, that we see more new things kind of grow, new opportunities, not just for, stories, but it's if we're going to be doing X-Men, we're going to need diverse stories. That is the whole point of X-Men, is about the difficulties that the marginalized face. So that should also, I think, be reflected in the larger sort of metatextual narrative that Marvel's going for. Because you introduced a shit ton of very interesting, very unique, diverse characters. You got a gay wizard, you have a Muslim mutant girl. You got an actor with kinetic energy powers. You have a omnipotent drug addict with Sentry. You got a lot of interesting narratives here. But what are you going to do with them?
Yeah, where are we going?
Yeah, you got a lot of interesting. You have a regent authority of the most the most powerful nation in the world, being a African woman.
Yeah, where are we going with this?
Yeah, where we going with this? You got a fucking, I think he's Colombian. Or maybe he's Peruvian. Hold up. Any respect. Yeah, Oscar Isaac as a man with a dissociative identity disorder. And also him being a person of color.
I don't think we're going to get a season 2 of Moon Knight, sadly.
He's Guatemalan and Cuban. So you got a Latino man with dissociative identity disorder who is also the knight for a Egyptian moon god. We ain't getting no second season. I would love a second season.
Same.
But
was that 2021 or 2022 that came out?
I want to say
I feel like it was 22. 4 years ago.
22. Yeah, Moon. Yeah. But, we hope, and we hope for better stories, and we hope for better representation both in front of and behind the screen. And, I hope these last couple of years and the transition of power and everything, are able to make something shake. And who knows? Maybe Aldous Hodge will be the new Blade.
Maybe. I wouldn't be mad at that.
I would love Mahershala back as something. Like, we gotta give respect to the man, because like that's a shame to get an opportunity on both sides to have like a 2-time Oscar winner, Academy Award winner, and have nothing for him shake over the course of 7 years, pretty much.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's a
long time to have a man just waiting.
But I'm glad he has his new movie coming out. We should all definitely go check out Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother. Does look good. It's one of the directors that he was working on Blade with. I guess you want to talk about the good news then?
Let's do it.
Good-ish news. So we got 2 major announcements from Hall H, and we'll also talk about like Doomsday and everything too in a sec. But the first one, we got Ghost Rider coming in 2028, being directed by Sean Levy, but starring Ryan Gosling. We don't know which one he is yet. I'm putting my money on Danny Ketch, actually, and not
Johnny Blaze.
Because I'm like, yeah. So just starting with that, what are your thoughts on it?
I think it's a dope idea. This is something that cool. the interviewer, Josh Horowitz, has been campaigning for and got Ryan Gosling to kind of admit in an interview, and then has been asking about it for both Kevin Feige and Ryan Gosling about this, and the fact that it's finally happening is cool. There's a time where I wouldn't believe that Ryan Gosling would ever do a comic book movie.
Yeah, me neither. Never thought I'd see the fucking day.
I feel like in these last few years, I think he's been opening himself up to do more franchise stuff, more fun things, and I think because he's been a dad now, or I think he's been a dad, but he's like, yeah, I want stuff for my kids to be able to watch. Granted, maybe Ghost Rider might be a little scary, but who knows for your children. I think that front's cool. I know people aren't crazy about Sean Levy as the director.
Yeah, even in the chat, the guys were a little lukewarm on it. Here's the thing: it's
it'll be fine. I'm not mad about it.
I think he's a solid director. He's good at directing action. It's more of, I think, the horror thing that we don't really know. But he must have some really strong rapport with Disney, because they must be really impressed with the Starfighter movie that they just wrapped. Because it seemed like they kind of gave him carte blanche to pick what he wanted to do. So I think apparently Gosling had an idea for what he wanted to do with Ghost Rider.
Yeah, he did.
And oh shit, what's the director's name?
Sean Levy?
Yeah, and Levy was on board, and they liked their chemistry, so they just let him have it, which is fine by me. I'm cool with more supernatural stuff. I'm definitely interested. I want to see how Levy handles balancing kind of like horror and action, especially if they do, a new story, because we've seen Johnny Blaze. I hope we get Robbie Reyes back. I would love to see him back. He was very good. He was arguably my favorite part, or one of my favorite parts of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And actor's still out and working. So I would love if they did Danny Ketch, because I think he's also on a motorcycle, but still. Just get a little bit of a unique change of pace. Not a lot of people know his character or his story. So,
and what is Danny Ketch's story? I'm not too familiar with that version.
Oh, I don't fucking know either. I ain't no better than you.
Why do you prefer him over Johnny Blaze?
I think we've gotten 2 with Johnny Blaze. We got several seasons of television with Robbie Reyes. So I think Ketch is the one that we have really sort of missed. And I think it would be interesting to just, his bike is different. So it's just kind of like he would not be one that would be up for comparison, since it'd be the first time we're actually getting I guess technically he showed up in Spirit of Vengeance as a literal child. But I think with even just taking a casual glance at his page.
I think I was doing a podcast on this, and I guess that, with, there seems to be some semblance of a through line with fathers and sons and family with Sean Levy that he likes to tackle. And I'm pretty sure Johnny Blaze has some sort of father sort of relationship that's built some tension. So I feel like, okay, maybe that's his in there. But yeah, I think there's only time will tell, really.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see how they end up tackling something of that can be very rated R if they choose to do another rated
Mm-hmm.
R project or version of this, because we know that obviously Deadpool Wolverine was rated R, and that was Sean Levy's first entry into the MCU with another Ryan. So will this movie follow suit with that?
Yeah, you know what? I think another reason why I think it might be Catch is because if it was Blaze, I think they would have just said it
But why would they hide it if it was Catch?
to make people guess.
I feel like they're just doing that either way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Blaze is like so obvious. It's like, oh, which one is it going to be? You know,
But I don't think there's really a lot of people out there like up at night wondering which one is going to be. I feel like most people don't know Ghost Rider that well, so I feel like it makes sense for them to go with the most famous version of him.
Well, I think when people think Ghost Rider, they're going to think of the Nick Cage one is the thing. So that's also why I think they might do Catch. Because like Catch is, I think I would argue probably the least known one. Like he's the Ghost Rider I know the least about. I've seen Johnny, I've seen Robbie, probably read more of Robbie, especially with Robbie being in games and stuff too. But Catch, like I've heard his name, but that was like the first one that came to mind. I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe it's also like a face thing too. He has the energy of just like a isn't Danny Ketch blonde? Hold up,
I think Johnny Blaze is blonde.
Oh no, he's a brunette. Okay, so maybe he is Blaze. I guess we'll see. Not a lot of photos of this guy's face outside of the flaming skull, but yeah. Anyways, on to the significantly more interesting one. We got Black Panther 3 coming December 15th, 2028, and it has been made official that David Johnson will be playing T'Challa II.
Yes.
As our new Black Panther. And man, made my spirit happy. I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of people that could have played the role of Toussaint that would have done a phenomenal job as well. I've only seen David in two things, and I'm like, oh, this is killer.
He's phenomenal in both things that he's been in that I've seen.
Yeah, the third one that I want to see him in is Rye Lane, which is apparently a Black British rom-com. But I've heard great things about him there. But fantastic pick. Apparently, for some the fuck reason, this has reignited the diaspora wars again, and I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah. Was very random to see on my timeline of people talking about or questioning or complaining it, where it's just like, look, man, we're already taking roles from African as Americans here in Hollywood. Not a lot, because there's not a lot of parts out there. But you pick who's the best. It is a fictional country on a real continent. It's literally could be anyone's game, you know. And he's carrying a legacy. He's a fantastic, talented actor following in the footsteps of another fantastic, talented actor. Like those getting Ryan Gosling and David Johnson for this brand is incredible. And I'm way more interested in David because, like, I know Ryan's good. I trust Ryan. I'm not worried about Ryan. You know, and you know, I know Sean's work, so it's cool. You know, screenwriter probably fine. Jonathan Tropper, you know, seems like probably a solid catalog. I'm way more interested in what Black Panther 3 is going to be, and the fact that we have to wait 2 years. So this is going to be a post Secret Wars, you know, MCU. This is probably going to be a mid-mutant situation. I have so many questions about like what story Ryan is going to tell to kind of build out this what I would assume is a trilogy. You know, it's like, are we going to get a version of Storm, and that's going to go with, you know, Toussaint? I think that would be a very interesting story to tell. Are we going to do Uncle Achebe? Like, we know Denzel Washington's supposed to be a part of this movie in some capacity.
Yeah.
You know, presumably, because, you know, my thing was always going to call the third one Black Panthers and have T'Challa and Shuri take on the, you know, hold up the mantle or something like that. And it's not to say that they won't do that, but, you know, Shuri's going to be there. We know M'Baku's still going to be there. So I'm just like, are we going to do elements of Doom War? Like, I'm so curious what we're going to get in just 2 years. Now, granted, the end of 2 years. Like, it's fucking
December 2028.
Yeah, like, this is what's crazy. It's like, these are our tent poles for December. This December is Doomsday. Next December is Secret Wars. The one after that is Black Panther.
Yeah.
Right on time for Kwanzaa.
You want to see Black Panther for Kwanzaa, baby?
Hold up. Now I got to check when the date is. Yeah, Kwanzaa in 2028 is going to start 2 weeks later on December 26th.
Well, damn. But still see Kwanzaa. Yeah.
Still
be
Kwanzaa. I'm so happy for him. Oh my god.
Yeah, man, he deserves it. You think he's a phenomenal actor.
Just don't fuck up. Just don't fuck up, baby. But sorry, what were we saying?
He's a great actor. Yeah, from the things that I've seen him in. I'm very curious to see how they're going to go about this, because part of me is like, damn, like, obviously Shuri wasn't meant to be the Black Panther, but, you know, she has this role now. Well, it seems like we know she's going to survive Doomsday because she's on stage. But I'm also like, how, if we're getting into adult T'Challa II, or Tucson, what does that mean for Shuri? Is there going to be like a time warp component here? Are they going to age Shuri up because now we have T'Challa Jr.? Mm-hmm. I'm very curious as to how they're going to pull this off.
My guess is it is something to do with Battle World and time and space displacement. You know, but basically what I thought they would probably do to get a recast new now T'Challa the First might be what they do to bring in T'Challa the Second. What I do hope they give him is a cape.
That would be cool. That would be great.
Give him the cape and the gold claws and shit. You know, it's like it's crazy to think that T'Challa's that the worst Black Panther costume is T'Challa's costume from his solo movie.
Yeah, and the best one is still his one from Civil War.
His best is from Civil War. It's like, I'd say it's like the Civil War one, Shuri's, T'Chaka's, and then his solo movie one. And it's really just the helmet that throws it the fuck off.
Yeah, helmet's not great.
Yeah.
I think Killmonger's is doing too much.
Yeah, Killmonger was doing just a little too much, so it's also kind of fighting for the bottom.
Yeah. I'm anticipating what we're gonna happen. I wonder if we're gonna see him in Secret Wars first, because we've now announced and cast him. Mm-hmm. You know, before we see him in Black Panther 3.
I feel like he has to be.
I'm also surprised
a major role.
Black Panther 3. I'm also surprised that Black Panther 3 doesn't have like a subtitle, because it'll be like Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 3. I've just never seen a second movie have a subtitle, and the third movie didn't have a subtitle.
It might get one. The closer we get, we got 2 years, 2.5 years.
True.
So
you're right.
Black Panther 3: Return of the King.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I'm so happy.
It's interesting that Ryan Coogler's in a place where he feels like he can do another Black Panther. He's honoring the legacy of Chadwick without straight up replacing him, while continuing this legacy.
That's a bold move too, because I even remember, our conversation with E-Man and how I kind of like come around on the idea of recasting what it represents. And while I hate the fact that, like, because he was also, because I still follow him and everything, and he was asking for other people's thoughts. And I hate that there's so many sort of bad actors that try to almost like point a finger at David or, Ryan's decision or anything like that, where it's like, oh, this is disrespectful to Chad's legacy. Just recast the old T'Challa. It's like, no, it's okay for things to move forward.
Yeah.
And he picked an exceptionally talented brother to do it with.
He did.
So it's like, this doesn't need to be diaspora wars. This isn't just the In It Blacks. Like, people are trying to dog on him for how he looks and being like, oh, it should have been Damson Idris. Like, look, Dancing got his hands full with the Children of Blood and Bone. He'll have his own trilogy. It'd be good.
Right. He
But
got
also,
his African fantasy movie going on.
yeah, he got his Afro fantasy joint. But also, it's okay if your fan cast doesn't come true.
That part.
Because it's going to be about the talent at the end of the day. Like, all due respect, Millie Alcock wasn't my first pick for Supergirl. Is she still a good Supergirl? Yeah. When she got picked, I'm like, she's a talented actress. I'm sure she'll do a great job. You know, it's like, I can't think of like any significant whiffs from the casting department, particularly at Marvel. They're good at their casting. I'll give them that. Mm-hmm. Like, even their project that I'm not the biggest fan of, it's not because of the cast, it's because of the writing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I don't think I can ever think of somebody where I'm like, oh, I don't know if this person was a good fit for this part. And it's usually just like, why the fuck did they write this?
Yeah.
Like, you know, MODOK wasn't bad because of who played MODOK. MODOK was bad because MODOK sucked in that movie.
Yeah. I don't hate MODOK as much as everybody else, but I definitely understand why people do.
I hate him more than everybody else, but that's okay. It's all right.
And we'll never see him again.
Yep, sure won't. But I think that was the major stuff we had from that, aside from, and we can talk about like the leaked scene in the trailer too for Doomsday. Yeah, I mean, what were your thoughts about the Doomsday trailer?
I watched it. I thought it looked cool. I wasn't really moved. But I'm like, all right, I'll show up. And that was pretty much it. You know, I was like, okay, Steve's here. Doom looks like Doom. The Fantastic Four are now interacting with the MCU. I think that my takeaway from it was it's wild having the Fantastic Four in the same frame as all the other MCU heroes, at least on the Avengers level, and just how I don't think that's washed out's the right term, but how dimmed their costumes are in comparison. Like, damn, all y'all costumes are dark as shit. Y'all got the darkest reds and the darkest greens. Meanwhile, the Fantastic Four is just bright blue and white as fuck.
Bright blue and white, yeah. Everybody's dark as shit.
Everyone looks dirty as hell. Just I'm like, bro, like, let's get some color in this shit, please.
Everybody like dusty and dingy. No, you're right.
But overall, I was like, okay, it didn't move me like that Infinity War trailer did, and
yeah. That was a moment.
But ultimately, I'm like, okay, I'm willing to give this movie the benefit of the doubt. Well, how did you feel?
I'm excited, actually. I'm not, like, bouncing off the walls, but I had my little cheering moment at the end. Like, this is definitely the who all gonna be there trailer.
Of course.
I know some folks were having issues where it's just like, oh, it doesn't tell me anything about the plot. I'm like, I know. This is remember when they did that 6-hour live stream of all the chairs? This is what that was.
Yeah, like, this is the Chairs trailer.
Yeah, it's the Chairs trailer. It's like, look who we got all in the same room. Like, seeing the X-Men was cool. Seeing the Talokan's return was cool with like Namor's new suit, and like, you know, Wakanda interact with the Fantastic Four, and the Fantastic Four talking to the new Avengers, and the new Avengers talking with Sam Wilson's crew, or Captain America's crew, and then like Steve showing up, even though who knows if that's really Steve.
How do you feel about the X-Men in the trailer and the X-Men in the movie?
I'm cool with them. I don't like Rebecca
Romijn.
Sorry, she's not in it.
Rebecca Romijn is in it. She's Mystique.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of Famke Janssen. That's Jean. Yeah, I don't like what they did with Mystique's hair.
It looks weird.
And crown. Like, it's not that she can't have that style. It's how they styled it, and that the crown sits lower on her head versus up in her actual hair. So, like, her hairline is here, and the crown comes down here.
Yeah.
And it looks really fucking weird. Like, it's halfway down her forehead, and then her hairline is in a completely different place. And I'm like, what the fuck did y'all do to my girl?
And they lightened her up too. I mean, here, like, light skin blue.
Yeah, like I'm completely fine with Mystique wearing clothes. Good on you. Bring it back. Why couldn't you just have the slick back hair and the rest of the fit? That's the
Yeah, that's what we know her as. And it's
yeah.
a weird thing for me because I'm like, I think conceptually, it's cool that the X-Men's there because it's it's the cast that we're familiar with, but it's not the same X-Men team that we know. This is a new team of X-Men with the same actors. Also, Charles Xavier has died like 15 times. So it's like, can we
That nigga
let this
stay
nigga
dying.
rest, please?
No, that
He
nigga stay
died in
dying.
he died in Last Stand. He died in Logan. I'm pretty sure he might have died in fucking
He died in
in what's it
Multiverse of
called?
Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. Did he die in fucking in Days of Future Past? I don't remember.
No, he almost died in Apocalypse, but he didn't.
Almost
So
died in
this,
Apocalypse. Probably gonna die in Doomsday. I'm like, damn, let this man rest.
nah,
I will say though, it's cool to
he
see
knows
Ian
what he
McKellen
did.
back. Huh?
He knows what he did. Now Magneto's suit looks fire. Have you
Best as
seen
ever
the
looks.
like the Hot Toys design of the fold? He looks amazing.
I'm like, wow, I didn't realize after all this time that Ian McKellen's Magneto was missing color because his suit was just been black this whole time with like a dark red helmet. I'm like, oh
Me-
yeah, we can make him red. That's right. And he got the
meanwhile,
long hair too. You gonna look sick as hell.
meanwhile, on X-Men '97, he has this big ass M on his chest,
Right.
which is always funny to me. But it's like, but yeah, no, it's like I'm curious to see what surprises lay before us. Oh, what do you think about Downey's accent as Doom? I think Doom looks really good.
I liked
Looks
it.
great.
I
Yeah,
liked his
I was.
accent. I liked him as Doom. And I'm really wondering how this is going to play out within the narrative itself because I feel like there's a lot of apprehension. Because I'm seeing a lot of cope going on
Mhm.
online, a lot of copium. But like, oh, why is it we have to get this Doom, and then later down the line we're going to get a real Doom? I'm like, we're not going to get a real Doom. This is
He's
Doom.
like, babe, honey,
Let me hold
this
your
is
hand.
him.
This is
It's
it.
like,
We're not because you can't start off as a multiversal threat and then bring him back down to a solo movie threat. You just can't do that. I mean, because even Loki started off as a solo villain threat and then went to Avengers level, and then even in the subsequent movies, he's more of a supporting character than a straight up villain again. You just can't go backwards like that. It doesn't work.
like, like maybe they could find a way, but honey, it's Doom.
Exactly. Now I'm wondering. A reason why I said I'm wondering how the narrative is going to play out is because if we didn't know it was Robert Downey Jr. playing the character, do you feel like people would be more excited? And
Yes,
does yes, because if we just saw the trailer, we didn't know if it was Robert Downey Jr. And we just saw that it was Doom. Now, the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is so present and leading the marketing and leading the press is kind of a problem, like as far as like perception goes, because it makes it feel like it's the Tony Stark show, even though everything he's colored in is marketed as Doom. And by having him so present in how the movie's marketed, it implies that we're going to see his face, and and there's a reason why he looks like Tony Stark. Whereas if we didn't know who was cast as Doom, and we just saw that was him, we'd probably be confused slash like could you imagine if you didn't know that was him?
it'd be way better. I because, and as we'll get to in a little bit with Brand New Day, I like misleading marketing and being surprised with stuff.
Thing.
So it's like I wish they kind of would have kept that closer to the chest. I know why they did it. It was a fucking Hail Mary.
Oh yeah.
I wish they held on to that because the discussions around it, like the antagonist for Brand New Day, which and the thing is, Brand New Day proves that they can do that.
Yeah.
Like was it semi an open secret because of people's deductive reasoning skills? Sure, but you really didn't know until you went to the movie. So it's like they could
Unless you
have.
saw Steve Lacy spoil it before you.
Wait, did he spoil it?
He was on the red carpet, and then an interviewer said, without spoilers, who's your favorite character in the movie? And then he takes a long pause, and he's like, Jean's my favorite character in the movie, and she's the villain, but she has like understandable motivations, and then the interviewer's like, "Is that a spoiler?" And he's like, "I just love Jean." And I was like, "Nigga." Unfortunately, I saw this after the fact, but this nigga had time to think about his answer on the red carpet for the movie.
God damn.
I was like, was it a badly kept secret? Sure. But you're the first nigga who's part of the movie to actually confirm that it's what it was before it came out.
Like, not even Tom did that. Sadie kept...
Not even like a half measure slip. He took time to think and then said his answer. Like, oh, it's just, like, Jean's my favorite, and she's the villain. Like, damn, nigga.
Damn.
I mean, it didn't ruin the movie. I mean, I think the movie's more fun in the first half if you don't know that it's Jean. Because you're just like, what the fuck? Because it puts you in the position as not being in the know, just as Spider-Man's not in the know. It's like, if, because it changes it's your narrative enjoyment, depending on the context of how it's executed. If you're right in the driver's seat with the hero versus if the audience is ahead of where the hero is, because you're just waiting for the hero to catch up. But, fortunately, I didn't know when I saw it, but it was still a fun reveal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which, I mean, do you want to hop over to Brand New Day, since I guess we already started there?
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'll let you go first and get your thoughts out.
Yeah. It's a fascinating movie to me, because, like, I simultaneously think it's the best Spider-Man movie we've gotten in live action, but it only exists as it does because of 20 years of trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
So it puts it in a weird position, because, like, I walked out of it and I saw it second time today. So I walked out of it my first time, like, very satisfied. Like yes, this is what I've been wanting. It wasn't like this type of excitement like Across the Spider-Verse, or like that childlike wonder with like a No Way Home. It felt like a mature satisfaction. Like, it feels strong and conclusive and everything worked. And even after the second time today, this is where I felt like a lot more excited my second time seeing it. But I'm like, even after the first time, and I think the post I made, I'm like, it feels like the epilogue to a 9-part series of just trying shit and trying shit and trying shit and trying shit. And after, and it's weird because it pulls from like everything.
Yeah.
Like that, like, and I don't want people to be mad at me. It pulls from Lotus a little bit too.
In what way?
The suit design and that one specific swing that he does through the street.
I would need to see it to know what you're talking about.
It's a wide shot of New York, and he like swings by the camera.
Oh,
and it kind of like rattles the cars a little bit. I'm pretty sure that was a shot that they did in Lotus. So it's like it pulls from the Raimi movies, it pulls from the Webb movies, it pulls, I think, a little bit from some fan films, whether it knows it or not. It pulls from the video games. Like, it's,
yeah.
And that's what makes it interesting to me, because I'm like, I think it's the best one for live action, but it can only exist because of everything that, and I mean everything that came before it. Like, it learned from everything. Like, they were pulling from something from everybody's pool,
which is great, because I feel like in that, if done poorly, it could feel derivative or repetitive from things we've seen before. But they have just the right balance of these other things where it feels familiar yet fresh at the same time. It feels satisfying because it's pulling just the right amount. It feels like an homage to the legacy and media that is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which is what makes it was what in part makes it great.
And I'm going to say something very crazy. This is my favorite performance that I've ever seen from Zendaya. And I'm talking Euphoria, Malcolm and Marie, the other Spider-Man movies, Dune. This is my favorite. This is the most I've seen her be able to like be more than just we need you to be serious woman or serious girl or neutral girl or drug addict. Like it's she's a talented actress. We don't often get to see a lot of her range. She has range. I know she has range because she can play a lot of those complicated characters. Like even what was the one from earlier this year with Robert Pattinson? That's probably my second. The drama, where it's like she got to do a little bit more. She got to show a little bit more. So that's probably my second favorite. But this is my number one from her. This is the best that I've seen her kind of firing on all cylinders. Where she's like, she's funny, she's witty, she's serious, you know, and she alternates. She personifies other characters. She's like, she really stood out to me here in ways that I wish she was allowed to in other roles, where it's like she's getting these huge roles, but I don't think she's given a lot of like space to really like flex the type of actress that she's fully capable of being. And oddly enough, I think, you know, I think it's directed well. It looks beautiful. The comic recreations are fucking ugh. Oh my God, they're so pretty. You know, the arc, the narrative arc, the things that like, you know, the setup, it's like this could be by itself and be it and be done. If this is where Spider-Man stopped, I'd be okay. And then life continued as life does. You know, it's like I don't want it to be. Obviously I don't want it to be. You know, I want Spider-Man forever. It's like shit. I want to be in a Spider-Man movie, fucking. But like, it's a fascinating one to sit with, and I'm glad I finally have like a space to discuss it in like greater depth, because it does. Like, even when I left it, it's like I ain't got no issues with this. You know, it's like I might have maybe a nitpick if I stretch my ass enough, but like really no. Like,
yeah.
Nothing. Everything there's foreshadowing that I didn't even catch until I saw it again. You know, and it's foreshadowing in dialogue and in moments and stuff like that, whether it's intentional or not. I'm like, there's foreshadowing in this movie. Like, you know, full spoilers, because I mean we've already spoiled it. We already spoiled the twist when we were talking about Doomsday, but or not twist, the surprise. But you know, even it's like, how do you like? What would you do to transform a mutant gene? Mutant genes. So I can play on words. I'm like, I mean, we knew it was Gene, but it's literally like looking you in the face. Like, my favorite scene in the movie is the rooftop scene with MJ and Spider-Man, where and Destin and Eric Summers and I think it's McQuarrie, or I forget who the other co-writer was. Hold up, who's the other co-writer? I want to say it's not McQuarrie, it's somebody else. But they fucking cooked with that rooftop scene of being able to give the audience what they thought they want and what they really sort of needed with that 1-2 gut punch of just like, hold up, I'm gonna find this motherfucker's name. It is Chris McKenna and Eric Summers. That's who it is, McKenna and Summers, along with Cretton working on this.
I think there's another writer as well. I think the guy who did Challengers also did some penmanship on here.
Oh, okay. That's dope.
Yeah, I want to say the guy who wrote Challengers did a little something.
But yeah, it's like that scene on the rooftop where it's just like they're going back and forth and like they have the kiss and everything like that. And it's like, that's right, Peter. Hold her close. Remember how this feels. I'm like,
oh, the twist got you. You didn't see it coming.
I was skeptical my first go around, because I'm like, really? That's the choice they were gonna make? I was confused. I'm like, this is the choice they're gonna make? That's so weird. Okay, man. Hey, if that's the way we're going, I'm rocking with you. And then when they pulled the rug over, I'm like, I like this 1,000 times more. That was like the second watch, my theater gasp. Like, my fiance was just like, oh no. Like, I'm like, I love a sneaky bitch.
Yeah.
I hate that I love a mischievous bitch. Just a little. It's like, oh, that feels good, doesn't it, Pete? That's right. Hold her close. Remember how this feels. I'm like, oh, he gonna beat you.
Jean, right? He's foul as fuck for that.
But that's also in character for Jean, because Jean sometimes be a mischievous bitch. Like, it's on brand. It's very in character for her. Yeah, I got nothing but praise for this movie. Even the stuff that people don't think work, I think still works. Like, honestly, I think my biggest issue is I want more. I wanted more like that opening sequence, because apparently they shot a lot more of that and trimmed it down. I'm like, no, bitch, give me the full 3 hours.
Yeah.
Y'all severely underestimate the dedication of a Spider-Man fan.
Truly. There was a whole scene that they cut out that was in the marketing of like Peter Parker Spider-Man visiting a school, and he still had the mask on, but just like a hospital gown. And they try to like poke a needle into him, and the needle breaks.
I
And the
just
kids
saw
are asking
that.
questions. I was like, where the fuck was that in the movie? I wish that made it in. Yeah, this movie was great. It was really, really good. I have a few flaws here and there, but overall, I feel like it's probably my favorite live action Spider-Man movie for sure. I love the fact that Spider-Man just gets to be, for the first part of this movie, just a detective and just like
Yeah, that was cool.
on the case, and he's in the Spider-Man suit for like most of the movie, like
Like
80% of the
80%.
movie, which was great. I loved that, and the fact that he's just in the Spider-Man suit having whole scenes, and the fact that he is able to emote in the suit, and like I haven't seen Spider-Man just be able to emote and just be natural in the Spider-Man suit since Andrew Garfield and TASM 2. And yeah, they both are able to have these exaggerated emotions to get across their feelings.
The physicality is a huge thing
And yeah, man, and just watching him from someone like Homecoming, how he moves in the suit versus how he moves in this movie, you just see the experience, you see the confidence in his ability and his role as Spider-Man. And I love that. I love that so much. I really loved the fact that he had a relationship with the police department, or at least a relationship with Jean DeWolf, which, funny enough, no, I've never seen anybody call this out. There's 2 Jeans in this movie. There's Jean DeWolf and Jean Grey.
Yeah. That's a good point. Oh man, when I saw Jean DeWolf show up, and it was an actor from The Bear, because for some reason people thought that was going to be Miles' mom. There are 1,000 million Puerto Ricans in New York.
Literally,
they're not all going to be Rio Morales. It's just New York. They have Puerto Ricans there and Latino people. I don't know. It was a fucking weird ass thing. But when it was revealed that it was a Jean, I'm like, please do that in the future. Please do the Jeans, because they're laying the foundation. They're like, yeah, she's nice, isn't she? Look at her loving her children. You know, being a friend of Spider-Man. They're like this. They're like friends. You know, it's like, yeah, they're close.
Then she gets murdered, right?
Huh?
Then she gets murdered.
Yeah, she gets murdered.
Crazy.
The title of the comic is literally The Death of Jean DeWolf.
Well, after like by the Sin Eater, that's what I saw.
Yeah, so it's like, if they do Black Suit, Sin Eater, and Black Cat the next movie, I'll open my fucking wallet tussie right now.
Wallet tussie is wild.
Oh, sorry, yeah, what were you saying?
There's just so much to love about it. I love the fact that this is the movie I've been wanting for Spider-Man to be in the MCU since they announced he's going to be in the MCU. Like, how Andrew Garfield moved to Spider-Man, that's what I was hoping we would see. And I felt like, though obviously Tom Holland has his own spin on it, the fact that he's a Spider-Man that's comfortable with the city, that he's just in the role. And I love Tom's accent as Spider-Man in this movie as well.
It's good.
His accent work was great. Like when he was like,
New York is in there.
Yeah, man. And the way that they were able to, it's such a funny contrast from something like a Homecoming, because Homecoming is like, this is an MCU movie starring Spider-Man, whereas this is a Spider-Man movie that features the MCU. And I love that, because having characters like Yelena, the Punisher, the Hulk, Jean Grey, and that not take focus away from the movie was great, was incredible. I feel like it's funny, because my favorite scene of the movie, yours was the rooftop scene. My favorite scene is Peter as Spider-Man in Ned and MJ's apartment, just playing with Legos, and him and Ned just bonding. Because that just put a smile on my face. I'm like, look at him just
like, are you kidding? This is the most fun I've had in years. I'm like, yeah, that was a literal truth. He did not lie.
You've not done shit like this in 4+ years.
This nigga is depressed. It's like to the notion of just like when it was announced it was going to be a lot more street level, it was going to be aged up and everything like that, and everyone's like, oh, they broke up, yeah, Peter's depressed, and it's like, and I don't really like that narrative that it's like Spider-Man is at his best when he's depressed. I very much don't agree with that. What it is that you can, because like one of a recent Spider-Man run that I quite enjoy is like the Ultimate Spider-Man run from Hickman. It does have some massive pacing issues, but it's like, I don't like that it's not that he's depressed, it's that he has responsibilities. Things look so it's like he has stressful factors. He has things that are important to him. And so it's like when you allow Pete to be an adult, it's not that I don't think he has to be depressed, but I do think he has to have things that matter and are valuable to. He has to have stakes.
Yeah, personal stakes.
Yeah. And it's not that you don't have stakes in high school. Obviously you do, secret identity, family, friends, blah, blah, blah. But when you have to manage that with being an adult, I think that is more interesting because we don't get a lot of stories about like, as far as like superheroes of like, how does an adult balance this lifestyle with their responsibilities? And I think people conflate Peter being sad and alone and depressive with the complexities that come with the maturity of being an adult. And having to navigate relationships, having to navigate those responsibilities, which is like also why I like the fact that he reestablishes those as part of his arc in the movie, is like reconnecting with people, not being in isolation, learning that it's like you do need community in order to thrive. Like the issues that were, and also this is something I want to give credit to too. Cretton and this team pay a lot of respect to John Watts. Like I didn't know that was. Because I remember we were talking like during the press junket and everything, like, oh, this is the most fun I've ever had on a Spider-Man, and I'm just like, God damn, what's wrong with John Watts? You know, treating him like child labor. No, they pay a lot of respect to what Watts did and brought to and laid the foundation for, which makes me very happy because those movies are good. They're some good movies, you know, even great in certain regards. So it's like the issues with Watts' trilogy, I don't think are on Peter not being miserable. It's more so, you know, it's like he might have had a few more advantages that narratively mean that you have to sort of write those complexities around those advantages versus like somebody being devoid of it. So it's like if you have friends, how do you write somebody engaging in an obstacle when they have a support system is very different from somebody engaging with an obstacle when it's just them.
Right.
So it's like, you know, it's the difference between Captain America in a solo movie and then Captain America with the Avengers. You know, it's that argument that people always make is like, why didn't they just call the fucking Avengers? It's like, yeah, that's something that you now have to think about when you're doing the fucking Avengers movie. So when you give Peter a supporting cast that's present and things are kind of okay, you know, it doesn't mean that you can't make for drama and tension, but it does mean you have to think a lot more about what that looks like to account for all that other stuff. And not everybody's good at writing that, which is why a lot of Spider-Man comics suck, because they don't know how to write adults with complexity that also have healthy, positive support systems.
Yeah. I also appreciate it. Yeah, this does give a lot of respect to the Watts trilogy. And I think that this movie it's funny because I would say that in retrospect, not first having seen it, is that No Way Home is like the fun, popcorny event film that has the dire consequences with the time jump, with the much more somber, more serious movie to follow. This is Spider-Man's Infinity War and Endgame, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's interesting that those two movies are like so different, but in conversation with one another. But also this movie is in conversation with Homecoming, because that movie is about Peter Parker choosing making the choice to be Spider-Man over Peter Parker because he doesn't value Peter Parker. And Homecoming and No Way Home like have almost inverted messages or plots, right? Because he's like, I just want to be Spider-Man. Like, I don't want to do this high school shit. Whereas Far From Home is like, I don't want to be Spider-Man right now. I just want to be a kid. So it's like the choosing the responsibility, wanting the responsibility, the denial of the responsibility, the consequences of the denial of the responsibility in No Way Home, and then the burden of the responsibility in this new movie. And I think that conversation with his relationship, with his duty, with his responsibility is very well done to give this Peter Parker a sense of a dynamic journey, one that you can appreciate in retrospect now that we've gone through this entire thing. Because you're just like, because I did a rewatch of Homecoming after I saw it, and I was like, oh, you have no idea what's coming. You sweet poor summer child. You're just like, you're like, oh, I just want to be in high school and I want to take the girl to the dance. And Mr. Stark. Like, meanwhile, you're just like, oh,
about to get a lot worse for you,
lonely
baby.
as hell in about 6 years, and you're gonna be just like in your apartment. It's gonna be all dark and shit. But yeah, I also love the fact that
sitting in the shadows like this, just
right, steepling. Also, the little details like the fact that the Lego thing hasn't been a thing since Homecoming. The fact that in Homecoming they established that MJ likes to draw people in crisis, and in Brand New Day she draws Ned and Peter in joy. You know, so even her thing has kind of flipped, because she used to be like, what, expect the worst, you'll never be disappointed. And here, even though she still has that dark sensibility, she seems to be like more of the light, more optimistic of sorts in Peter's life. She gives him a chance to, you know, have Ned be reintroduced into his life as well. So I thought that stuff was great. The inclusion of characters like Yelena was fun. That was a very fun scene.
I think they used the guest characters exceptionally well, because I'm just like, yeah, this is so. What
they're
I
all
like
there to
about
serve
them,
the story and serve Peter.
They serve the story, and they're supporting characters. They fit as much as the narrative. Like, they don't feel shoehorned in inappropriately. What I like about Brand New Day, and I think I said this in our group chat, it's like it feels like a comic book arc. Like, I feel like I'm reading just a couple issues of like there's a beginning, a middle, and end. There are guest characters that show up because this is a big ass world. Like, time moves forward, but there's a lot of these motherfuckers in this city. Obviously, they would probably know each other and run into each other from time to time.
Right.
Isn't this what you want? Like, it's like it would feel bloated if it feels like they were shoehorned in. They fit in pretty natural places. Like, yeah, it would make sense that Peter, who's having issue with his genes, would go to the gene expert that works in New York to pick his brain about it. And that also,
it's funny because I have a love-hate relationship with No Way Home, because on one hand, it's great to see all the Spider-Men together. It's great to see these actors back who played these other characters.
We don't think critically about No Way Home. That's the rule.
We don't. You're right. That is the rule. We can stick to that. But I bring this up for a reason. I bring this up for a reason, though. On one hand, it's cool that we get that, but on the other hand, because we've seen these, you've put all these past iterations into a single film, that then limits our opportunity to put them in future films for Tom to go against them himself. And if we do, it's like we're not going to see them for years to come. It's kind of similar to the Doctor Doom thing. We're not going to get another Doctor Doom because we established Doctor Doom. We're not going to get a Green Goblin, an MCU version of Green Goblin, an MCU version of Doc Ock. We're not going to get an MCU version of the Lizard, because we established that in the MCU, Peter has fought these guys. So then we can't reintroduce them with their own relationships to this Peter Parker. That's why in this movie, the gene expert that Peter Parker knows is Bruce Banner and not Kurt Connors, because we just did Kurt Connors in the last one. Whereas if this was a Spider-Man movie that was more self-contained in his world, he would have gone to go visit Kurt Connors.
And I think that was some of the feedback that I was seeing, is like some people wanted to be a little bit more self-contained. I'm like, look, if this was just Sony doing this, that is what you would get. But it's not.
But that's why I'm not mad at it. I'm not saying it was Bruce Banner.
Well, I'm not saying you. I'm saying just like I have heard like that framed as a critique, because even with like Gene being included, is like, oh well, it could have been Mr. Negative. It's like, I know, but You can use Jean Grey. You know, it's like it's like, yeah, we could have used the Lizard, yeah, or we can use the Hulk. You know,
Yeah,
it's like, what? Why
they
would you
serve the
not
same
go?
purpose.
Yeah, it's like if you can go bigger,
And I feel like
go bigger. Why wouldn't you?
Hulk, and even though they're both guys who've experimented themselves to big green disastrous results, but I feel like narratively, because of what Bruce Banner's gone through, because of his sense of isolation, he is a more narrative appropriate person to put in that role than Kurt Connors is. Because Kurt Connors, at least he has a family. Bruce Banner doesn't have anything. Or I guess he has a cousin, but whatever.
Yeah, but I mean,
and a son, but whatever.
But
we will never acknowledge again.
Yeah, because I mean, even thinking about like the conversation that Peter and Frank had, later on, kind of in that back and forth, just like, you don't understand what it's like to be like me. I'm just like, more than you know, nigga.
Right.
He's like,
speaking of Frank.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, you think this is a choice? This is a sentence. I'm like, yeah, his is too. It's like I like that they sort of unspokenly kind of have that dichotomy. Frank just doesn't know what Pete has sacrificed for what is ideally the sort of sake of like others' safety and well-being. Like he already lost one loved one. He's like, I ain't gonna let that shit happen twice.
Yeah. But I think that Peter chose this. It's the consequences of his choice. Yeah. Frank didn't choose this.
Yeah, Frank's was circumstantial, and that is a fair difference.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, he did it to save his people, but at the end of the day, it's something he chose as a direct result of him trying to have everything he had. He trying to have his cake and eat it too with the Doctor Strange spell, which the only reason he was in that position in the first place was because of the whole shit with the Edith glasses in Far From Home. So these stories are all in conversation with each other. There is a narrative progression, which I do appreciate. And yeah, I like the fact that Peter and MJ don't end up together at the end of this movie because...
Nor should they. That would not make any goddamn sense.
It would not. She doesn't know this nigga, but...
She said, it's like, I don't know you, nigga.
Right. But I think that, with her... toying with the necklace at the end of the movie, and then Ned, I don't know if he remembers him or if he just figured out that he's Spider-Man. His Peter was a little ambiguous at the end there, but I think that it sets up a next chapter in which, though they don't have the memories of Peter, we can now establish these new relationships from where we are today. And I think that hopefully they utilize this, but with the complex place that MJ is in, where she sees Peter's heart, she feels a kinship to this guy while also being in a relationship. It puts us in a more complex place for the future, because then we get to, because in Far From Home, they were like two kids who had a crush on each other, and it was like, we're going to kiss at the end. Now they're adults, so now we get to see them reestablish a relationship from a point of adulthood, which I feel is, with there being a love triangle now, creates more complexity to now reintroduce this relationship from all these years later.
And to your point, because that's what I want to see in the next movie, is like, I want Black Cat to come in to be the foil. Obviously she has to be a black woman, but because the rule is the rule for a reason. It's been consistent for 10 years. There's no reason to change it now. But it's like, I think that would be such a fascinating foil, because imagine like you're rekindling just this friendship, because they're just friends, with this guy who you and him had a close bond. You don't remember it. He does. You've moved on because it's been 4 years. Why would you not move on? You have a boyfriend and you're developing this closeness with him. But then he starts to be a little on and off flaky because he's meeting somebody else. And it's like, so you're getting closer, but then he's starting to pull somebody else. So you get that sort of interaction where it's like, hey man, where are you at? I was like, oh, I was off just doing Spider-Man stuff. I was like, anyways, this is this girl Felicia. It's like, oh wow, you have a friend who's like a girl. Cool. Great.
Yes, let's not just put them back together. Let's create some obstacles, some emotional complexities.
I want to see the mess where it's like, I'm not jealous, but I feel a little way. It's like, oh, cool girl, Felicia. Nice to meet you. Because like Felicia and MJ are like friends in the comics, but again, it's like I'm not gonna fight a woman over a man, but got my eyes on you, ho. You know, it's like
Right.
I have a man, but conspicuous. You know, it's like this is also. I just want to see Black Cat in a movie, and I think that this is like the perfect time to enter. Like we could do Black Suit, Black Cat, Death of Jane DeWolf. If you really want to get into it, I think those. If you're trying to get sticky,
I do want Black Suit Spider-Man, but I'm also torn because it feels like we just did quote unquote Dark Spider-Man for a scene where he like lost control and beat the shit out of Scorpion. So
I figured that was like a setup too, sort of where it's like, oh, we've seen this before, but now we see like, you know, because right now he has his buffed up powers. It's like imagine that taken to 11 with the Black
theory.
I feel like this is like the proto version of what Black Suit would be, because Black Suit is this like turned up. Sorry, what's your theory?
I feel like they're going to save the symbiote in the MCU for Miles. I don't think they're going to do it with Peter.
I'm not mad at it.
Because
he's already mad at it.
He's already set up the fact that, well, one, we just saw angry Peter Parker in this movie going through some changes, and I feel like it wouldn't have the same sort of effect. I don't know. I'm like, if he's just a dick to MJ and to Ned after just getting them back and then like pushing the people he loves away. I don't know. I just don't know how that would play. But if we establish that with a new Spider-Man who wants to live up to the legacy of the old Spider-Man, and plus coupled with Tom Holland saying that he wants to shepherd in this new Spider-Man, I don't know. I think that leaves room for interesting places to play. Plus, we've seen Miles go up against Venom, but we've never seen Black Suit Miles before. At least not to my knowledge.
Not for an extensive period of time. No, he's had an Iron Spider. We haven't had any like arc of him having a symbiote. I mean, not willingly. He briefly got possessed by one during King in Black, if I recall.
Yeah. Or they're going to use it for Secret Wars.
No, I'm almost certain that he's going to get it during Secret Wars. Now, is he going to keep it?
Yeah, that's the question.
Is the thing, like, is he going to keep it to his own? He briefly had Miles briefly had a symbiote to King in Black. I almost forgot about it. Shit looks weird too. What the fuck? I forgot how ugly this thing was. I think I have the toy for this. But regardless, yeah. How did you feel about like the inclusion of Frank? I thought he was great, and I don't get I've seen a handful of complaints where it's like, oh, why isn't Frank as like gritty or dickish as he usually is? I'm like, one,
he's in a Spider-Man movie.
One, he's in a Spider-Man movie, but two, I think it's good for characters to grow and progress. Like it's not like the comics. The comics are always going to be cyclical. There's going to be a base that they have to inevitably fall back into. This is a film franchise. People get old, people change, people die. I'm okay with time moving forward. Matter of fact, I prefer it. So if Frank moves forward into, like, yeah, we saw him in One Last Kill pick up the vest for what is hopefully the last time we ever have to see him do that shit, and just keep moving forward from here. I think it's nice for Frank to have a friend that he cares about, even if he doesn't see him all the time. You know, even if they have a bantery, mildly like rival, like contentious relationship. But for Frank to just to laugh, to cry, to make a friend, to connect with another goddamn human being that can actually even relate to him, even slightly. I think that's great character development for Frank. For him to just like that hilarious moment where he's like, I got a plan. When you want to head out the hospital, he puts on the mask. He's like, like, was that funny? Yes. We have never seen him be like gleefully joyful for 5 seconds to feel what it's like for people to just adore you because they admire you, because the work you do is good and important. Like, it's not the friendly neighborhood Punisher. It's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And you get to live that fantasy for 5 seconds just to help your friend out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you haven't been able to be a dad. You feel like a failure because you feel like you couldn't protect your family. You're constantly haunted by the ghosts of the members of your core that either died or got killed or abandoned you. You've been in and out of jail. You're haunted by the mafia. For 5 seconds, you get to do something a little stupid. And people are like, hey, man, we love you.
Yeah.
Let him have it. Let him have it, man. He is clinging to life. Look, we almost saw him go out in one last kill.
Yeah.
He is one spill of that chili on his armor away from jumping on top of one of those claymores, feet first. He's this close. I'm like, let him have it, man. Let him have this one.
Yeah.
Because that's what fucking Spider-Man does to people. He made the Punisher cry. Even though I didn't see it. But
yeah,
he made him open up and laugh and show it's like, you know, admit that he was brave and respect someone else. Because Punisher doesn't respect Daredevil. He respects Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's exactly the point I was gonna bring up, because I was like, I was wondering how they were gonna execute the difference between Frank's relationship with Matt versus Frank's relationship with Peter, and I thought it was interesting how they did that, because I think there's two components. One, I feel like Matt is a lot more probably annoying / preachy to Frank. Plus, there's the love triangle aspect to their relationship, where he's like, I'll help you out, but I can't stand your ass a little bit. He's like, because I feel like he feels, because he calls him Red, so I'm like, it feels like he feels Daredevil's like a contemporary, but who doesn't agree with, where he feels like Spider-Man's like a little brother.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that about their relationship, because like, yeah, you know, he calls him kid the whole time, but he also, it's like he respects what he does, because like they both have codes, but I think the difference is between like a Matt and a Spidey. You know, Matt's a little bit like Nightcrawler, where it's like he's like, oh, I'm leaving this to the carceral system. You know, I'm leaving this to the justice system, which is like, sometimes Spidey does that, but you know, it's like, he's not going to kill anybody. But I think Frank might chalk it up more to a little bit of like naivete versus looking at Matt, where it's like, this is somebody that's the same age as me. You should fucking know better than to trust the legal system to like, to look out for the community. It's like, oh, this is a serial rapist. Why get him off the streets? It's like, no, we need to take him to justice. Justice, bitch. What? No.
God, would I not kill to see a Peter, Matt, and Frank story or scene with the three of them, where they're like Matt and Peter are doing their thing, and they're both trying to get Frank not to kill people. I don't know, because like obviously we've had.
I'd like to see that.
Obviously we had Matt as Matt in No Way Home, but I want to see Spider-Man and fucking Daredevil. They know that's what we fucking want.
Which they got us good with that with the one sequence of him fighting the Hand and all that negative space.
Right.
And it turned out it wasn't a goddamn thing. I'm like,
I think
they got us. They got us good.
I will say, I think the Hand is my one little. I think just two. One, how the fuck is Frank getting in and out of that hospital? Isn't he a fugitive? Is he still a fugitive in the MCU? I don't fucking know.
I'll say yes. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do about it? My headcanon is that Jean Grey was helping him get in and out of the hospital.
Yeah, mine is he brought in Spider-Man, and he's looking after Spider-Man. What are you gonna do? You look. He has a rap sheet longer than the Bible. What are you gonna do? We're gonna call the police, and you will have a bunch of dead cops.
Right.
I
feel like the law just kind of gave up on him. Like,
it's like
he's Frank. Let Frank be Frank.
We got the worst vigilante carrying the best vigilante in here. It must be some serious shit.
Yeah.
You know, and if Frank's like, it's like, sir, we need you to leave. No, I'm going to stay right here. Okay, we'll just lean back a little bit then.
I think the least believable part for me of the movie was that the Hand just works for the Department of Damage Control now. They're just like, they're just our muscle now.
it's kind of a lateral move, really, where you go from one evil to another. But
they're like, yeah, these are our henchmen. We just have ninjas. I was like, okay.
They did explain it where
they were reformed. They got the severance chip. They're fine.
I don't even know if I would call it reformed, because the way that I kept calling him
Metzger.
Metzger. The way that Metzger described it is essentially they're probably like leaderless right now, and so he basically gave them structure, is what I took from it. Where it's like, okay, if you come underneath us, like we can fund you, home you, we give you a sense of security and stability. Right. So it's like it is ultimately reforming, but it's under like the government. It's like how the new Avengers are like government sanctioned Avengers, even though like it's a bunch of anti-heroes and assholes when you look at it. So it's like the Department of Damage Control did the same thing, where it's like, oh, the hand has been running loose. Hey, you guys don't have a leader anymore because he's dead. Why don't you come over to our side and we'll take care of you? You still get to, it's like, we're not going to disrespect any of your duties or anything. We're not going to get in the way of any of your business because you work for us. And it was like the shady shit that Kingpin was doing. Because like, why do you have the shocker gauntlets in there?
Well, that part makes sense to me, because I feel like,
I mean, that's R&D, but it's just kind of like it's part of the mask and the veneer of just like, oh no, we're the good guys. We take the bad and transform into the new. We're just going to abuse and torture this child so we can learn about how her mind works to unlock her psychic powers. But
I will say this: it's funny that this is the third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie in a row where this nigga trusts somebody and gets fucked over. He trusted Mysterio, gets fucked over. He trusted the villains in No Way Home, gets fucked over, gets his aunt killed.
No.
He trusted Metzger, gets fucked over.
Now, that's true. But for this one, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's been doing this for a while, and he hasn't had any issues up until this point. Because he's been that we know of. Because it said in the opening, it's like, hey, crime is at a record low because Spider-Man has been delivering criminals to like damage control and the police.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, he's had a rapport built with them. So even to the point where Metzger is just like, hey, we can have a one-on-one. We can chat. You can come into my office. He doesn't even have to take off his mask because he's chilled like that. We don't have a reason to not trust Spider-Man, except for all those guns we made in case we need to, light up Spider-Man.
Yeah. Also looked up the timeline stuff. So this one would technically take place in 2028, and Daredevil season 2 ends in 2027. So I just missed the vigilante crime stuff by the time we get to this movie.
Which technically we knew and got spoiled for us when it showed him getting the key to the city and Fisk wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was like, fine.
All right. Well, I think
and also Frank's haircut was different than he had in One Last Kill.
Oh yeah, I think it was like a little bit more out, and then he had like the beard. But he had the same skull though. But in One Last Kill, because I don't know if you noticed, they changed his skull from what it was before to what it was in One Last Kill, and he still had the same skull from One Last Kill, except it was just dirtier. Yeah, it's smaller, it's more concentrated. Because I feel like prior to One Last Kill, this nigga, for the life of him, could not spray an entire fucking skull in his chest.
He couldn't. We know why.
Get a whole skull. And finally, in fucking One Last Kill, he does. And then in this new movie, he has a whole skull. I'm like, finally, fucking Frank. You know how to paint. Congratulations.
But you know who we got to talk about, though.
The Hulk.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about him, too. Let's talk about the Hulk. Now, talk about the other dude.
Okay.
Hulk was really good. I think Hulk was well used. That fight sequence was lit as fuck.
It was so good.
It was so fucking cool, especially a lot of the shots they were doing of him like swinging out and around and through the building. The differences between Banner, Smart Hulk, and Savage Hulk, I really like.
I did.
Because it's like, isn't this what y'all wanted? You wanted this nigga to tear shit up? Well, here it is.
And I really liked that. I was worried going into it, especially seeing the trailer that Savage Hulk was back. I was like, didn't we establish that he fix this shit in Endgame? Are they just gonna fucking ignore that? But no, they didn't. They acknowledged, like, oh no, he is Smart Hulk. And it wasn't until Jean fucked around and scrambled his brain, which only a telepath can do, that Hulk is back. Which I'm like, great. And they just solved it in a line. Like, she must have scrambled my brain or did something in my brain. I'm like, okay, yes. We finally get the fucking real Hulk back. Thank you.
And ties in well to her character and not having like a full grasp of the extension of her powers and, more opportunity to grow and learn in the future. How they handled Hulk, I thought was great. And also, we got to see Hulk and Spider-Man and the Punisher fighting each other in a movie. Like,
yeah.
Never would have thought I'd see that fucking day.
I love that Spider-Man said, after he shot him, he's like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Tickle him to death?
His quips are good in this movie, too.
They are. I was like, okay, he got some quips now, finally.
He's real slick with the shit. Because, like when Tombstone was holding him, he's like, I wonder what's going to happen to you if I drop you off this building, which was a stupid thing to say to the motherfucker that literally clings to walls. He's like, I don't know, you tell me.
Right, and then
flip them over and grab them.
And then when Scorpion had him pinned in the beginning, he's like, "Let's end this on a high note," and hits him with a piano. I was fighting you wrong for that. That was funny as fuck, though.
That was very funny. There was that. There was the scene of the stretching. It was like, it's like, I'm not in high school anymore. I got to stretch. And I love the fact that they just watch him and wait.
They just let him do it,
and they're like, "Well, we'll stop him. We got the Spider-Man tech, we'll be able to stop him." It's like, give him a sec, let him stretch it out. He doesn't even know what's coming. He doesn't even know who Steve is. Steve's about to beat Spider-Man's ass, Steve said before he got thrown into a wall. But no,
like, what are you doing? Okay, all right, you guys want to go? Oh, you guys stretch? You big stretchers? You ready?
Like,
and then just fucking does the fucking Insomniac video game moves. I'm like, oh, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
Speaking of Insomniac moves, the one where he slingshotted into Scorpion in the ground, I'm like, Scorpion should be dead.
Literally, I thought the same thing. Oh, you crushed that man's ribcage.
Ribs obliterated, lungs collapsed. Like,
also, he beat the fuck out of him with his own tail.
He threw him into a police
fucking Scorpion tail.
He threw him into a police car. I'm like, he's dead.
Literally, though.
Like, the hood of the car. The fact that the cop was the one that got fucked up. And he's over here glued to, Spider-Man? What happened? He has these bruises on his face. I'm like, brother, you can't breathe.
Right. Ectoskeleton working miracles out here.
Like, you need to be fighting for air right now.
Crazy.
But no, the one that we got to talk about, the black dude that got possessed.
Dude.
He had 3 minutes.
Right.
And he acted his ass off.
Ate that shit up.
He's been, I had to follow him on IG. Everybody's been so hyped. I
followed his ass too. Which is surprising because I'm like, this movie's one of the biggest movies of all time. And this nigga still has only like 3,000 followers.
He has like 1K on Threads.
Good for him. But still, 1K is crazy compared to, like, he acted his ass off in that scene.
Like,
I was like, shit, if he was the villain, I wouldn't have been mad. Like, this nigga who's a telepath. He's like, that still got that monster inside of you, Spidey?
Got that monster inside of you, Spidey? It's like, my nigga, who are you talking to?
Right, who the fuck you talking to?
Like, who the fuck you think you're talking to? He's like, oh, you got a real nice crib around here, bruh. I'm like, yeah. He had 3 minutes, and he said, I'm going to show out. Hold on, I got to find Homeboy's
It's like, I saw a meme, it was like, the director's like, you got 3 minutes. He's like, that's all I need.
That's all I need. Because that's how you're supposed to do it.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be done. It's like, look, you got to do a lot with a little. As an actor, you got to do a lot with a little, and that shit can get scary fast.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta make it work and make it hurt. Hold on, I gotta find Homeboy's name to put some respect on him.
Oh, so you think that old dude who got hit by the car, you think he died?
Okay, so that was another thing I did want to talk about. Gene's body count, I actually think is 0. Do I think he got fucked up? Absolutely. 100%, without a shadow of a doubt.
Let me ask you this. The guy who was stuck in the helicopter, how the fuck do you think she switched from that body?
She pulled herself out of him she knew her address and just picked another person and zipped around before he got back to the apartment because she said,
you don't think she hopped from him? You think she just started over and
she started over.
That makes more sense
Because
no, what were you gonna say?
Because MJ said, because I was wondering what the time frame was when she hopped in there. Because I'm like, okay, maybe she hopped in her when they were on the roof. No, she says when she's clarifying what happened, she says, 1 minute I'm sitting at my desk, next thing I know I'm on the ground.
So when Peter's there, she's already in there.
Yeah, she's already in there by the time Peter got in.
Crazy.
Which makes that whole sequence like, and there's another way you can tell the difference too.
The swinging.
Her reaction during the swinging, because she was really calm.
I caught that the first time. Mm-hmm.
During the first time, but then the second time, she's freaking. It's like, am I good? Am I okay? Am I safe? And it's like, you're safe. You're good.
But she always does that. She hates swinging.
Right. Did you see the weird ass discourse where a lot of fellas are showing why they aren't Spider-Man and showing their ass because they're like, oh, you know, if she had asked me to swing back, I would have dropped her, or I would have made her walk, or whatever. I'm like, this one
you're lame.
Like you, bro. You're
not
lame,
Spider-Man,
buddy. It's like Spider-Man wouldn't have done that shit. You a lame ass nigga.
Right.
Like,
I've not seen that. I'm happy that I haven't. Like y'all make me sad. Y'all.
I'm about to expose something very unfortunate and embarrassing about myself, but it's like, I broke up with a woman once, you know, during the pandemic. I helped her move, broke her heart into pieces, still helped her move.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you do. It's like, I'm not a perfect man, but shit,
right.
I like to think I'm decent.
Yeah, man. And I'm like, Peter, and yeah, bro, you got the Spider-Man in you. And another thing I liked, and I appreciated the first time, the fact that Peter told her about the kiss.
Yes.
I was like, good fucking man, Peter.
Good man. Good. Because here's the thing. And I gotta say it for men. As a man, if you fuck up or engage in a consent violation, you should acknowledge it and you should apologize. It doesn't even matter if the other person doesn't know.
Yeah.
You just do it because it's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
And actually, that him bringing that up became plot relevant.
Exactly.
I think that's what makes it even more interesting. Him doing the right thing helped him learn something about the situation that he was in.
Yeah. Yep. And that's why this movie's great.
Because it's just like, it works. It just works. Like, it just... Also, the score. How do you feel about it? Giacchino scored this go round? It was great, but it was interesting too. Because
I saw something, is that the opening, it still sounds like the Homecoming score, but slightly different, because apparently he took notes out of it to reminiscent of the missing piece from these memories, to show that Peter is not part of this anymore.
Yeah, because I'm just like, it sounded like a lot more slower and lower, and then he ramps it up and everything, of course, over time. But I'm just like, wow. I do think I like the older one a little better, but the context under which it's made is still like very impactful, very powerful.
I think I prefer the Brand New Day theme. I listened to it in its entirety, and I'm just like, it just feels more epic to me. I don't know. I feel like it feels more mature. The Homecoming theme just feels like more plucky to me, and I just like more like youthful and mischievous. But I prefer this version of it.
You know what it is? I'm still looking for like that hard rock part to come in, but this Peter is very much indie rock. It's like I'm waiting for that kind of like 90s Spidey sound, and I'm probably not gonna get it, but
yeah,
I'm
still a fan of the second Garfield score.
I am too. I'm still, yeah. Yeah, it's like I'm still a fan of that. I'm still a fan of It's On Again, Kendrick Lamar featuring Alicia Keys. I'm like, hey, look, y'all slept on that song.
Truly. Yeah.
Shit.
It's a great movie.
It's great.
So we both like it more than No Way Home, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Okay, I guess we should. The one thing that we didn't talk about. How do we feel about Jean?
I liked Jean. I thought
I did too.
it's interesting. I liked Jean because I feel like her story still served the narrative themes of what were happening in the movie. Also, people were fucking dumb. Have you seen the discourse? People are like, oh, Jean has too much screen time in the movie. It becomes like a soft X-Men movie. I'm like, nigga,
Not in the slightest.
they just gave the appropriate amount of time for the movie's villain for you to care about the villain. Electro had more screen time than Jean did in Spider-Man 2. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all niggas talking about? But
What the fuck are you talking about?
But I thought she was fantastic. And even though we didn't get any specific X-Men iconography, I feel like the fact that we are in a movie where someone's still trying to control mutants and trying to activate her in like a Weapon X type of way is still very X-Men coded, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, especially with it being like Bill Metzger and Department of Damage Control. Like it can set up for stuff in the future. Like obviously, I'm fully gung ho for that. But a lot of people are like, oh, she was just, a setup character. I'm like, I didn't get that feeling at all. She felt like her own entity. Like, yes, we know who Jean Grey is and what potential she has to be in the future. But I'm like, she felt like a fleshed out character. I liked seeing her backstory in the context about like her sister. That was good and I think necessary setup for her motivation and everything. So it's like it all came together. Sadie Sink was very good. I like the fact that they kept her hidden all throughout the marketing, but also just like a majority of her screen time, is as well up until roughly 2/3 of the way in, where it's like we knew she existed, but her being like a mysterious entity, I think was a great thing too.
Yeah. Another thing I like about Sadie Sink is that, one, she has the on the very base level sort of thing. She has the ginger hair, she has the eyes, she look kind of, looks like a Jean Grey type. But the thing specifically about her, because we had Sophie Turner play Jean Grey in those last couple movies.
Oh yeah, floating accent syndrome.
Yeah, but the thing is, with her, I like that Sadie Sink is like shorter because it's a nice contrast for how powerful she is. But also, Sadie Sink has this thing where she can be very endearing, but she also has crazy eyes. So I feel like, if she wanted to, she could pop off if she need to. Like she has that Carrie thing about her. I don't know how to explain it.
I didn't notice either until my second watch. She has green eyes.
Yeah,
I never noticed that about her. Oh, finally, I found his fucking name. The actor's name is Nii Akin, Niyiakin.
Oh, shout out to you.
Shout outs to Nii Akin. You fucking ate down as Sadie Sink, as Jean Grey, as extra number 3 harassing Spider-Man. But I like the fact that they actually included the pink in her brain waves for her psionic powers as like an allusion to some of the colors that she usually has for like her psychic abilities.
I know it's blue in 97, but I know in other mediums it's pink.
Yeah, I think it's usually pink in the comics, which is cool. I felt smart because I was noticing that she was having to consistently hop from person to person. So when Pete was starting to notice, I was like, wait a minute, there's a limit to this bitch. And then it's like, calculate the average of the limits. I'm like, oh, okay, we locked in.
But I also love that.
Here.
You're right. I love that whole sequence because it reminded me of some of my favorite parts from the fucking Spider-Man games where you have to go on the chase to catch the villain through the city.
Shit, you're right. That is straight up out of the games. Every time we would have to do a chase sequence. I fucking hate racing missions, but
But it'll tell you how many meters you are from the villain as you're trying to chase them. Is that exact thing.
Yeah, so it's like she was, even if this was like a one-off, I still think she works because it's like they didn't say the word mutant. They didn't roll Professor X's bald-headed ass in there. It sticks with what it is. And she's not even a villain. She's just an antagonist. She's an antagonistic force. She does some crazy shit, but her body count is like, I checked. It's at best it's 1, that guy that walked into the road, but I think it's 0 because everybody that she had shoot them, they shot each other in the leg. They were still moving.
Yeah.
So like the ones outside the building, they were still moving. The ones inside the vault, they were moving too. Because she also told them to throw their guns. Her body count might be, I think it's 0. So I think when she was threatening to kill Metzger, that might have been her 1.
Yeah. Also, Frank's is also 0. Frank didn't kill a single person in this movie.
That we saw. Okay, Jean might have a body count, but it's to be determined because we didn't see a body. The cars that the tank hit at the beginning, the police cars, because remember, it hit like 2 police cars and one of them went at Spider-Man and he moved out the way. I'm like, oh, he said, fuck off.
Also, Jean had a bomb in that tank.
12.
So whoever was in the building, when the bomb went off at damage control.
It looked like everybody escaped, but we don't know for sure.
Maybe. Hey.
It's murky. That's the thing. It's ambiguous. Like, here's the thing. It's what we saw is 0 because we didn't get a confirmation of any of those deaths. But also, theoretically, it's like 6.
Also, another great part of the scene, a great part of the movie, we got Marissa Tomei actually having a proper Aunt May scene.
I was so happy seeing her again, man. She's so good.
Yeah.
You know what also made me happy in that scene? Seeing and this is another thing of them putting respect on John Watt's work. They brought back the suit. But
the homecoming suit.
And I'm like, see how good this thing is when it's not painted with CGI? Look at how nice it looks. I'm like, what broom closet did you dust this shit off of and not paint it in CGI? Just letting it. And speaking to this suit, for the Brand New Day suit,
it's up there. It might be rivaling TASM 2 for me now.
It's grown on me a lot, really fast. Just like the more I've seen it, the more I've appreciated it. Even when I was watching it earlier today, I'm like, would I have? I was like, is there anything I would change about the suit? And it's like, well, it was like my bias, but this isn't a nitpick. This is just a bias. It's like, I'd love to have the pill bug back on the back. That's just my personal preference. Yeah. Everything else, I'm just like, this looks great. And then I'm just like, well, what about raised webbing? And then I look closer at it. I'm like, it is raised. It's not as thick as like the TASM 2 suit, but it is raised slightly.
It's very noticeable. Whereas in the other movies, it looks like a fucking basketball. You can't even tell. Yeah. Sometimes you can't even tell there's lines on it. So like, because you see the light reflect off the marks. Man, this did remind me of something that was really fucking stupid. Do you remember when people thought, when No Way Home first came out and they showed the official art of the new suit, that they thought the symbol was gold because light was hitting it, and they thought it was like a brownish gold color? I'm like, that's just light reflecting off of black. What the fuck are we doing? I'm talking about the No Way Home suit?
The suit at the end of No Way Home. For the original version.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Also, did you notice the differences between the end final swing No Way Home suit and the Brand New Day suit?
Yeah, the fabric material is different, and then the symbol is closer on.
It's smaller, and then the way that the red trims into the torso is different because you used to have like a little divot in, and then went back out, and then also the belt is pointed.
Yeah.
Whereas
versus rounded.
Yeah, it's rounded in this one. I feel like homaging more of the TASM 2 suit that Andrew had because his was rounded, whereas Toby's was pointed.
Man, those POV scenes ripped straight from TASM 2. That's why I love it so much, because it's like it pulls from everything that worked. That's why it's weird. This movie is such an anomaly because I can tell they studied and learned from everything that came before it. Yeah, it's so weird because I'm like, I think it's the best Spider-Man movie, but it can't exist without any of the other Spider-Man movies. That's what makes it so weird. Because I'm like, it's the best, but it can't be the best in a vacuum, because in a meta sense, we would not have this without everything that came before. Literally, even down to the suit design is inspired by Toby and Andrew and MCU Pete, because it pulls from all three of them. So I'm just like, that's what makes it weird, because it's the best, and it can work great on its own. But I know everything that it's weird because like I don't often get that sort of experience with like a movie where it's like I can see directly where your inspiration is coming from. Like, yeah, sometimes you get it in bits and moments and scenes here, but this one, like, everything is pulling from something while still being refreshing too, like having an interesting arc for Peter that I'm curious about for the future, and incorporating different characters, but they don't feel like they're hogging too much time. They all feel plot relevant, so it's like everybody has something to do. I don't know. It's an excellent movie. But it's also a fascinating movie. I need to see what the art on this movie was like. But yeah, man. I mean, I guess the last thing we could really talk about is like what we want for the future. I mean, I know what I want. Like, I mean,
we want Black Cat. You want the black suit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll leave the black suit. I'm just expecting them to do it in Secret Wars, especially with what that end stinger was.
Yeah.
Who do you think that was?
What do I think that was?
Yeah, the stinger at the end.
I feel like it might be Toby.
I thought Toby too.
Because I'm like, but why is he in space? I don't know. Right. I'm curious. That stinger was very ominous. I'm like, is that Battle World or is that Toby? Or is it both? I don't know.
But it glitched like the Spider-Verse movie.
Exactly.
I'm like,
that would be crazy. Could you imagine if this Peter was going to be in Spider-Verse 3?
I made a joke to something like that similar when I did a guest spot on Frames Per Second back when X-Men 97 season 1 was airing. I'm like, wouldn't it be fucking crazy if for like Secret Wars, it was like, Hugh Jackman Wolverine fist bumping X-Men 97 Wolverine. And everyone on the panel was like, oh, that's a terrible idea. They might do it.
Hey.
Because weirder things have happened. So it's like, it might be Miles. My first thought was Toby.
Mine was Toby too.
Why is he in space? Is it incursions? Why is there Battle World? I fucking know. But yeah, it's like I just want Black Cat. Like, it's time. He's a grown ass man. Get Chase Infinity in the suit. It doesn't have to be the super tight skin latex suit. I know Marvel is averse to sexuality. It's okay. There's sexless movies, but she can have like some cool, like, I don't know, spy gear and like cat ears with the white fur or something like that. Just don't make it ugly like the ones from the game is.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's a unpopular opinion. I like Felicia's design, but her suit is trash in both games.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that white paneling about?
Weird.
Yeah, let's get Chase Infinity or Chloe Bailey and do what must be done.
Yeah. Two things I want to say before we end the review.
Yes.
One, I love that you can see the white. You can see Tom Holland's eyes through the fucking
his eyes and his ears. It's so fucking cool.
I was like, yes, finally. It took us this long to be able to see Spider-Man's eyes through his mask. And it's like, it's not, with the exception of when they do the close-up when Hulk is choking him and they make a point to show his eyes, it's one of those things where, like, if you can not notice it in some scenes, but if you're looking for it, you can clearly see it. You're looking for it,
you can see it.
Also,
and I think
Peter
that's from
fucked the
X-Men too. So what?
Also, Peter fucked the X-Men with that universal inhibitor.
Oh, royally. Well, he made it worse because I almost forgot that they had those inhibitors back in Age of Ultron because they used them on Wanda.
Those were like I think collars though. I want to say.
That's what you don't think they're gonna try to pull that shit back out?
But no, they have chips now. They can manufacture that shit.
Well, on the bright side, Gene destroyed the one universal one, but that doesn't mean that they
you're right.
Find it. But that doesn't mean that they don't have the tech. They might have those blueprints, but I don't know. But he was about to. If he didn't, is this fucking close?
Yeah. So he took his one off and left it at the prison, presumably.
Yeah, so they might reverse engineer that one.
Maybe.
Ooh, I just thought of something. You know who they could do as a villain that they haven't done?
Who?
Spider Slayers.
Yeah.
Department of Damage Control making Spider Slayers. Anti-Spider-Man propaganda.
I can see
I
that.
don't know, babe. I don't know. And get Black Cat in on that. I don't know. We could build something. I got ideas. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's good for the review.
Oh yeah, I feel straight. I feel good.
Cool. All right. Where can the people find you at, my friend?
You find me at the Instagram at the real Aaron Alexander, and then TikTok at the real Aaron Alexander with REEL, and you can find me on Real Rejects.
Ooh, and if you're looking for me, you can find me on Threads and Instagram, both at Will the Greatest, or on YouTube at Will the Greatest. And yeah, don't forget to leave comments with the hashtag AskAce, and we will try and answer them on the show. Next time we're here, maybe we'll talk about some stuff that we missed, but who knows? Anyways, it's been good. Be great and kind to one another. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think about Spider-Man Brand New Day? We will see y'all in the next one.